transmission was received from an unknown radio source within the northeastern region of the continental United States. The radio signal has been deciphered from a secret broadcasting facility and is now being transmitted to your listening device. This is the Nostalgia Cafe.
And welcome back to the greatest memories of your childhood, the Nostalgia Cafe. We are so glad you found us. I am Dan Morrow.
I am Sam. Slip and Slytells. Whatever. Whatever.
You are Sam Pufnstuff, Slytells.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay.
Or Sam the Sigmond Sea Monster,
Sigmond the
Slytells.
Sea Monster.
Sam the Bugaloo.
Oh, so I did miss out on a couple. All right. So I
Yeah.
don't have to be Slip and Slytells.
And of course, with us always is the beautiful Karen Lynn.
Hello.
We will be your guides as we take you on a journey of your lifetime. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and tell all your friends about us.
Cheers.
Nothing
Boom.
like midday drinking.
Yeah.
No, we're
It's
on
5
all
o'clock
platforms. You can go to our website, the official nostalgiacafe.com. Fun show for what did I call this emergency meeting into session.
It's really weird being here in the middle of the day.
We have
It's the middle of
Sid,
the day on
the
a Saturday.
legendary television icon Sid Krofft, the half of Sid and Marty Krofft, some of the most creative television works that you can imagine in the 70s. If you breathed air as a child in the 70s, then you knew Sid and Marty Krofft. You knew their shows, anything they'd done, even if you only seen one of their shows.
Yeah.
From Land of the Lost, Wonderbug. There's so many things. We did. I almost lost something. We did. I was going to make a list of some of the things that were happening in the world of retro. You familiar with Eve Plum? She was Jan on the Brady Bunch.
I know Jan.
She's got a really cool site if you go check her out on online. She makes all these crafts and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really kind of cool. 80s extravaganza. If you haven't got your tickets yet, what are you waiting for? Go get your tickets right now at 80sac.eventbrite.com.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's only a few more weeks.
Yeah.
And we'll
3
be there.
weeks away.
That's it. 3 weeks away. We
will
got a
be
lot going on.
Judging a dance competition.
Judging a dance competition.
Exactly 3 weeks from today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Because today.
Not
Today
tonight.
is Sunday.
Yeah. No, today is Saturday, Sam.
I said that. It's not like you could ever find out that I didn't say
He only
that.
had one sip. The same.
Remember what I said last time when you do stuff like, I'm just going to smile at you. Because I understand.
It's good,
When we
'cause
talked about your concussions and stuff.
That's good because I love your smile. So.
Also want to give some shout outs to our to an affiliate right now. The Evel Knievel Stunt Cycle is back. Evel Knievel, the man, the myth, the legend. He's back with this nostalgic gem. I love this toy. I loved it as a kid. I loved it now, ladies. If you have that man who has everything, you don't know what to get the man who's got everything, get him this stunt cycle. You'll bring him back to his childhood immediately. Just put your phones down, have some fun, go jump, flip, do whatever you got to do. Go to our website. How do you get one? Go to our website, the official nostalgiacafe.com, and click on our affiliate page. And that's the official nostalgiacafe.com. And you'll be able to order directly from the company. We have merchandise coming soon. I can't wait to get these shirts.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see how our shirts start to evolve.
Wait, I have a question. Is the first one already planned? Is it designed? Are we?
Oh yeah, we're working on it right now. We're working on it right now, hoping to have it for the
For the extravaganza.
extravaganza.
I'm gonna show up in style.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm bringing my big wheel to this.
You are.
We got prizes galore, people. So not only
We did stock up on prizes.
Yes, we did.
We
We
did
got
stock up on
we got
prizes.
slinkies, we got slap bracelets, trolls, all Rubik's cubes. We have everything for you people. All you gotta do is show up and spin that wheel.
And us, meet and greet.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
man.
get to talk to us.
Yes, if you land on the right square, you get to take us home.
No.
Really?
Wait, no? If it's just me and Dan, no one's gonna spin the wheel. Hey, you know what? Can we go ahead and open up today's present of the day?
Ooh, there's a present.
Now, I don't normally.
I did not. I did not expect one on this day.
Yeah, because it's spur of
Because
the
it's
moment.
a spur of the moment
Yeah.
get together.
But I always have something. And you know what? There's a reason why I guarantee you will love this. Everyone loves this.
It's a box.
It's
Everyone loves a toilet paper wrapped box.
well, if you have kids, don't buy them toys. Just get them a box.
Just
'cause-
get them to.
That always
How
works.
much fun did you have? Okay, I'm just getting the confirmation.
Oh, with boxes? We built a maze of boxes in my friend's bedroom. I mean, this was a maze. I'm talking about months we were building this thing. There
Wow.
were little areas to sleep, little areas to pop your head through. And boy, it would get hot in those boxes.
I
That's
bet.
awesome. That's awesome. My best memory, I don't even know what we bought. It might have been a bike or something. It was huge. The box that it came in was huge. And it was long, rectangular. But it was big enough that you could sit in it. And it was about 3 feet high. So I remember I got my markers and I made a truck. And I drew a dashboard. I drew the... Back in the day, we'd have to wind the windows.
Oh, I
up and
remember.
down.
I remember the
Yes.
window
So-
winders.
Yeah, that wasn't automatic. Little fun
So everyone,
tidbit.
I knew you would love this because everyone loves the slinky, a slinky, a slinky. Everyone loves the slinky. I don't know the rest of the song.
Not
It's
affiliated,
sweet.
not
It's
affiliated with the
Slinky.
Nostalgic
It's
Cafe,
Slinky.
and
A
not a
wonderful,
product that we are
wonderful
promoting. But
It's
but there you go.
Slinky.
It's the Slinky. Who doesn't love a
Fun for a
Slinky?
girl and a boy.
Did you guys ever watch Ace Ventura when he had his slinky?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's a great scene where Jim Carrey's at the top of these stairs somewhere, I don't know, in Asia, I don't know. But these stairs, there's thousands of stairs, and he's going down, down, down these stairs, and it stops at the very last stair before the ground. He's like, can we do it again?
I was going to add that there's a fun fact about
The Slinky?
Oh, Karen's
No.
got facts about slinkies.
not about the Slinky. You were discussing coloring on the boxes when you were a
Yeah.
kid. He still does that.
You still draw on
Oh my
boxes.
God! There's
I
a
have
picture
video.
of me. Yeah.
No, I have video of Dan drew a monster face on this large box, put it over his head, and met me in the driveway as I pulled up one day.
All that was left were my legs. I
Yeah.
looked like a
Yeah.
Krofft puppet. Actually,
so I
looked-
had to take video of it because
Because you married a
this
big
is-
kid.
Yeah, this is my life.
You married a big kid who's wearing a Sesame Street shirt.
Correct.
Can we read the
I was looking at him earlier, and he goes, "It's the shirt, right?" I'm like, "No,
I almost bought you
Not
bought
the
that at
shirt.
Walmart, didn't you?
no." Five Below, I think.
Five Below, that was my other
Yeah.
guess.
either there
it was-
or Kohl's.
Okay.
That one was. I'm almost positive that one was Five Below because I honestly was going to buy it for you. I didn't. I bought you the Atari one, and then we went back another day, and you went right to it, and I said I was gonna buy it.
You know why I want to buy that also is because as a professional educator, there's certain shirts I probably shouldn't wear.
Right.
But that one I could totally wear. And it says on there, everything I know I learned on the streets.
Streets.
The streets.
Look at Oscar in there. Always
Grouchy.
just grouchy. That was my favorite. I don't know why. I'm not a grouchy guy.
I was an
but-
Ernie
Really?
guy.
He was my favorite.
I loved Ernie.
Really?
Yeah.
No love for Bert?
I didn't get it at the time. I didn't get the humor. If I look back, you pull up the videos now, the YouTube stuff from the early shows that they were doing, there was a lot of humor in there that you would get when you were
You just
an
like
adult.
when he
I
sang
just
Rubber
like-
Ducky.
I just thought that Bert yelled at Ernie a lot, so he was
Yeah.
a little more mean.
Right.
Where Ernie
He was more of
just
a fuddy-duddy.
yeah.
I could be wrong about this, and I don't want to get all controversial.
Hello.
Well, hi, Sid Krofft here.
Hello.
This isn't.
Hi, good afternoon there, good morning here.
Oh.
Good morning to you, sir.
morning to
Everyone,
you.
welcome to the show. Half of the legendary television creation team of Sid and Marty Krofft, Mr. Sid Krofft. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Well, thank you for asking me. Great.
Dan all but jumped up and down when you confirmed that you could do it.
If I was telling everybody, if you were a child and you breathed air in the 70s, Sid and Marty Krofft were a big, big deal. I remember just seeing the name on the screen, whether it was something that you guys were producing or something that you guys were affiliated with. I just associated the name with just pure happiness. I was such a Wonderbug fan. I was such a Lost Saucer fan. To this day, I'm into the paranormal and investigating UFOs, and the Lost Saucer was a really big deal. I don't expect to see Jim Neighbors anytime soon.
Well, thank you so much. You know who made us put our name on everything? This is a great story. The very first time that we met Walt Disney was at the Beverly Hills Hotel in the Polo Lounge, and he was sitting at the next table. And my brother and myself, we were with Tony Martin and Sid Krofft,
Wow.
and they were great friends of ours. Plus, I toured with Tony when I did my act,
Mm-hmm.
and my puppet act. And Walt Disney got up and came over to say hello to them. And, of course, they introduced Marty and myself to Walt Disney. And I was just shaking.
Yeah, I bet.
Walt Disney?
Yeah.
Wow. And so Walt Disney said, "Oh, I've heard of you guys. I know you have that show at the Seattle World's Fair. I didn't go to the opening, but I'm going at some point." And he said, "Can I give you some advice? Always put your name above everything that you create, because someday it's going to be worth something."
Wow.
So we immediately, Le Poupée de Paris was at the Seattle World's Fair. It was the biggest puppet show ever produced. It took 3 months to install the big piece of machinery that, when I say machinery, the stage had all kinds of incredible effects, elevators, waterfalls, real ice.
Wow.
It had a swimming pool. It rained, fireworks, all kinds of incredible effects. It was a takeoff on the Lido or the Folies Bergère. And up on the marquee, it just said the Krofft Theater presents. So we immediately put up Sid and Marty Krofft, and everything that we ever produced, we listened to Walt Disney, and the rest, I guess, is a little bit of history.
It's a lot of history, and what I like, it's something I personally would prefer. I don't know if you guys originally preferred it, but I like a name preceding the anonymity of the actual people. Mm-hmm. You know the name. The name supersedes itself, where you don't really know who these guys look like. People did know about you guys and you and Marty, but you could still go to the bakery and have, get a donut. You could still go out in public, but your name was everywhere. And
well, thank you. It's crazy because everybody for years thought that we were the Muppets. And it was Marty that said to Jim Henson, it's amazing what you're doing, but nobody knows who's behind the Muppets.
Right.
Right.
Put your name up there.
Yeah.
And so it was Marty that really told Jim Henson what Walt Disney told us.
I gotta say, first of all, nice to meet you. It's great to meet a living legend. My name is Sam Seitels, and I gotta say, the way you felt when you met Walt Disney is probably the same way Dan Morrow is feeling
Right
talking
now.
to you right
No
now.
way.
I'm gushing.
I need to tell you,
I
he's
got tears.
tearing up.
Yeah, you know what? You're all getting too carried away.
No.
You better control yourself.
All right, well, we'll hold it together. We'll hold it
You know
together.
what?
He's
I gotta
really
tell you what-
crying.
I got to tell you what's really crazy. Of course, we all haven't traveled too much lately,
Right.
but I'm just using an example. if I went to Topeka, Kansas, for it's just an example, and I hand somebody my credit card, they freak out.
Yeah.
They freak me out.
I bet.
They freak me out. You know, it's like it's just amazing. After all these years, I'll tell you what really blows me away is, you know, this is all 40 and 50 years ago,
Right.
all those shows. And people have taken all those shows with them. All these years, they know the theme song.
Yes.
They know the characters. It's just, you know, they tell me things that I have even forgotten.
Right. Well, it's funny because
Yeah.
when we were doing the research, we were watching some of the things on YouTube just to refresh us because Sam is a little younger. So he didn't grow up with the shows that we did. And as soon as Dan started to play them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember this. You do. You just get this feeling like it brings it all back. You remember being...
Well, let me put it in a perspective from a child who didn't like school. You know, I was the square peg trying to fit into a round
I
hole.
hate school.
I'm
with you.
Yeah, I didn't like school. So what is there to look forward to other than Saturday morning? And you guys owned Saturday morning for a time. And, you know, so just seeing that name, you know, it's a Saturday morning. All I want to do is have my breakfast and watch one of your programs, or just after school, they would show the reruns. You know, they were just programs I looked forward to, and it's the happier time of my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hey, well, thank you. That's an incredible compliment.
well, thank you.
You know, there was one thing that the network constantly said to me. You know, Marty's the businessman, and I am the guy that came up with most of those crazy shows,
Mm-hmm.
and creative guy that worked with the art department, worked with the whole crew, with the script people. You know, I mean, when I look back all day long, I heard my name over and over again, Sid, with questions, and I didn't have the answers. Come on. And nobody's got all those answers, but I pretended like I did. You know?
Fake it till you make
I
it.
was just going to say, fake it till you make it.
Yeah, you know. And so being on Instagram and recreating my life, it's been incredible for me. You know, talking about going way back to my vaudeville days and my circus days. I haven't talked too much about the circus because that's a huge story. It was 2 years of my life. And so I just, you know, the fans know a lot of little bites on all the things that I have done personally, like being the opening act for Judy Garland. I mean, talk about being blown away. I mean, there were thousands of acts out there that were so much better than my puppet act, but I was chosen to go on her first national tour and be her opening act. I mean, when I look back at things like that, you know, maybe at the time I loved it because it was a job
Right.
and I was supporting my family. And so it was more important for me to send money home every week, that they were okay. And I sacrificed a lot of things. I was just talking to Kelly before we came on. For your listeners, Kelly is my assistant.
Yeah, and we'd
And-
love to thank Kelly for helping me arrange
Yes,
this.
thank you.
Kelly, oh, well, that isn't even a good title of
Mhm.
my assistant. She's so much more than that, and she's right listening to everything that I'm saying right now, and I that her shoulders went up. That she's so proud that I mentioned her name, Kelly. Everybody should have a Kelly. You know. So anyway, what was I talking about?
Well,
You were saying how great a show this was.
That's right.
Sid, you didn't like school, and I'd have to say that's because you didn't come to my school. I'm actually a school owner, and much like your shows, I love to be creative. I have my own puppet show. I try to do whatever I can that's in my imagination to entertain these kids and drive the lessons home for them. And I need to know, as someone who tries to be as creative as possible, and then I see your work and it just blows me away. What was your process? I mean, you just came up with so many characters with so many personalities and looks. Where did those ideas come from, and how did they come to you?
Okay, I'm asked that question a lot, and it's really from life, and I'll tell you why. When I was 10 years old, that's when I started with my first puppet. And then I was a street performer. And then, I didn't come from a family, showbiz family at all. They had no clue what the hell I was doing. and they really had no interest, especially my dad, and still until he saw me making money, 75 cents, a buck, a street performer.
Right.
Oh, wow. And then he was a day, and he's going, oh, wow, wait a minute. I don't have a job. This kid, maybe I'll become his manager. And I was bringing a couple of bucks a day home, which was a lot of money.
Then, right.
And so anyway, and then, I was self-taught. I knew nothing about puppets, because usually puppeteers in those days were like magicians.
Mm-hmm.
It was handed down, from generation to generation. They had their tricks that were secret,
Wow.
Right.
and, their controls and their backstage, When we did Les Poupées de Paris, I let the whole audience come backstage. That was like one of the biggest attractions of that show, to see how it was all done.
That's
Just
awesome.
like
That's awesome.
And that's why they became such a big hit. And, that amusement park, because you don't get to see movie stars, but you think you do,
Mm-hmm.
because driving by sound stages and stuff like that. But that question that you asked me,
Yeah.
it's because I was in vaudeville. I was in burlesque. I was in the biggest ice show. It was a Broadway show at that time, next to Radio City Music Hall, a show that ran a whole year. I did my act on ice. I was a freaky, well, I still am. Kid, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and so all that knowledge, traveling all over the world, playing at the Lido in Paris and the Folie Bergère, and, just all that knowledge. I was always a curious kid, and the people that lived above us in Providence, Rhode Island, because today, if you watch me live, I'm going to talk about, because this week there's been a lot of hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my family was in probably one of the biggest East Coast hurricanes of all time. And we were the only family that made it
Wow.
out of our street. And And so I'm going to talk about that. And the second, no, was the third movie that I ever saw was Dr. Cyclops. That was like a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only 10, and the only reason I saw it is because the people that lived above us in the apartment building that we were living in Providence, he opened and closed the curtains before the movie, after the movie, and he snuck me in, into the theater. It was the Paramount Theater, so all Paramount movies, I saw 1 Million BC. That was my second movie. My first movie was The Wizard of Oz.
Ah.
Well, let me ask you something.
You're better because I was going to keep talking, Yeah.
Well, what is it like? Because I will like to ask you about certain a few people that you have worked with. But what is it like to create a puppet, and whether you're doing it for your vaudeville shows or whether you're a part of the whole production team for Pufnstuff, or working on designs for Land of the Lost and the Lost Saucer, making these props and these models, just make them good enough to get on film to get us through the next episode. Doing that and keep doing that, and you'll keep them together with Scotch tape or whatever you can. And now these pieces are considered like holy relics to TV lovers and TV fans.
Yeah, because I got to tell you something that's really important for the audience to know. Each show, if it's a half-hour show, is really 23 or 22 minutes.
Right.
Mhm.
The rest are commercials. And they gave us Saturday morning, we never got more than maybe $55,000 an episode. 55,000.
Very low budget.
Today it would be, I don't know how many millions,
Mm-hmm.
at least 3, for 23 minutes. And so, yeah, when you say Scotch tape and bubble gum, I added the bubble gum in there. So it's crazy because I never, ever had a lot of money to do these things. And constantly, my brother, who's the money guy, would come to me and say, you got to cut half of that stuff. We can't afford it. And I always said, no, I'll figure out how the hell to do it.
Right.
And it's like going back to Pufnstuff. Just take a look at it now.
Yeah.
Pufnstuff, yeah, we did lose 17 shows. We lost $1 million, and nobody would help us. They wanted to pick it up and, do more because it was their number one show on NBC. And they offered us 5,000 more, and we said, no way, we're not going to lose another $1 million. And the puppet shows at Six Flags paid for it, or we would have gone into bankruptcy, at that point, right after Pufnstuff.
So even though you were the number one show, you were losing money?
Oh, a fortune. Yeah, $1 million. And then of course we did the movie at Universal. That movie, the Pufnstuff movie, was not even financed by Universal. My brother went to Kellogg because Kellogg was the sponsor of Pufnstuff. And he went to, where are they, Something Creek or whatever. Where's Kellogg? Battle Creek, Michigan, yeah. And he went to the president and said, we want to follow the TV show up with a movie. And they said, okay, we'll pay for it. And it cost $1 million. And Universal said, we'll do it if you guys can come in with the money, And
Well, did that give you a little more license, a little more creative license? Because I think if Universal put the money up, they would be on the set every day. They'd be a little more up your butt about getting this done under budget. They'd be a little more.
well, hey, you want to hear? Universal did the Land of the Lost movie. You know how much it cost? $200 million.
Ooh!
And it was a piece of crap. As we all know. And so, yeah. And so, I had very, very little to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew at the beginning in my heart that it wasn't going to make it because it had no heart, And what was great about the TV Land of the Lost, it had, a family.
Right.
It's the dinosaur, and it had so much emotion, and kids never saw anything like that because Land of the Lost.
This is the one with Will Ferrell.
No, the movie.
The movie.
Talking about
The actual show. Okay.
Yeah. The movie was like a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Right.
Right.
And it was a 4-letter joke,
Mm.
and it was there was no audience for it because the parents who loved the television show, who are now parents, had kids and couldn't even take them,
Right.
Right.
because it was, well, anyway.
Yeah, that makes me want to bring up something else. I know you did have your hands involved with the banana splits.
Well, that's what got us into television.
And
Because-
but the banana splits had a remake recently. They made a science fiction film maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I know it. But
Yeah. Why would they do that?
We didn't own the banana split. This is what happened.
Well, here's what happens. Somebody comes up at a conference table and says, we need X amount of millions of dollars to do this. And no one's saying, are you out of your mind?
Well, that's show business. Are you kidding? Don't we all say, how the hell did that get made?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, who okayed that?
Yeah.
And, there's no answer to any movie because the studios and the networks and the streaming, they're not really sure what the public is going to embrace, or they would be making one smash hit after another, and it's just a crapshoot because we don't know. The world is moving so fast, and we are not really sure what the next thing is, and are the audiences out there going to embrace it? And now, today, there's just too much.
Yeah.
We don't know what the hell to watch. We're really confused.
Too much.
Yeah.
And it's very rare that something just explodes,
Mhm.
I mean...
Well, I think that's the problem, Sid. I think that's the problem. They're thinking too much. When you guys would create the Lost Saucer or the Land of the Lost or, Pufnstuff, the basic theme was there was always some kind of diversity, some kind of problem, but there was always a child who was the hero or helping the hero.
Well, because it was for kids.
Right.
And I'll tell you what kids were very concerned about. They got so attached to the simple stories, and there was a thought that I had, and I won't get away. I won't lose the thought on this.
No.
That I didn't expose. when you talked about educating, no, someone
Sam.
said to me, one of you said, I couldn't wait on Saturday morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I really knew the network drove me crazy because the practices and standards,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it was insane. You know, they'd say, like in Lidsville, we had a character, a motorcycle hat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they came to me and they said, well, if that character's going to be on a motorcycle, it has to wear a helmet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I said, the character is a helmet. What the hell are you, I mean,
Right.
what the hell are you talking about? So that's what you were dealing with. Okay, they came to me constantly because at that time you had to put a little educational value into every show. The FCC wanted that.
And I just
so
wanted
they-
to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, wait a minute. Kids are going to school 5 days a week.
Exactly.
Morning is their day.
Right.
I said, leave it to me. I will come up with a way, and I'll give you an example. In Pufnstuff, Dr. Blinky's house had a fireplace that smoked too much, you know, and because of that, the house had a terrible cough. The house was on crutches, you know what I mean? And when the characters left that house, the house sneezed them out, you know. So that's the way I approach education.
I love that, man. I love that. As an educator myself, I love the fact that you weren't afraid to just make it as strange as possible and as creative as possible. Like I said before, I am an educator, and I need to know, because so many people in entertainment and education, there's always people on the outside just chit-chatting about what you should and shouldn't do. And I know over the years, there have been a million people asking you about drugs, if were drugs involved. And you would always say, because I read through your interviews that, no, you can't be on drugs while you're creating these shows. Did you
Well, that's not true. I mean, okay.
Oh.
No, that's not true. Because a few years ago at Comic-Con, I know I've heard that over and over and over again. And a few years ago, my brother, I hate doing interviews with him because he contradicts, you know, and I stopped doing that. And he wasn't even there most of the time. So, well, you know, especially my act, because Marty didn't join me until 1958, and I started my act in 1940. So, you know, and when he joined me, he was only my assistant. He knew nothing about puppets, and I needed an assistant. So when he says we were the opening act for Frank Sinatra or Judy Garland or Liberace or whatever, he wasn't the opening act. He was off the stage, you know, handing me the puppet, the next, you know. And so he learned a lot quickly. And God, I'm talking about too many things, and I'm losing my thought.
Well, we were talking about drugs.
Yeah. Do you ever get upset about that association some people make?
No. So I got to tell you, at Comic-Con a couple of years ago, because we've been going there for 50 years when a couple of hundred people showed up.
Right.
And we do our panel, and now it's, oh my God.
It's all over.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable how many people. I mean, that whole San Diego, you can't move.
Wow.
Yeah.
Went there. Have you ever been to one?
I have, and it's incredible. The costumes, the energy, and then you get to see people like you sitting at the tables and ask them the questions. It's fantastic.
Yeah, well, that's what we do. We do a panel every single year. But a couple of years ago, I don't even go anymore. It's too much. 50 years is enough. And because you have to take that train, and it's a 16-hour day, you know.
Oh, yeah, it's
to do an
exhausting.
hour panel. Okay, so anyway, I said, okay, you've asked us for years and years and years if we were on drugs. And I said, okay, you're going to hear it from the horse's mouth right now. And Marty is freaking out. I can hear him over my shoulder just grunting, and, you know, because he had no idea what I was going to say. If 3 presidents of the United States said they did not inhale,
Yeah.
I said, I did. Okay? Well, I became, I don't know how many thousands of people were there, but I was their friend forever. So anyway, you know, no, I never really did drugs, ever. No, I hated that. But, you know, if the Indians smoked a little pot, well, then there was nothing wrong for me to do it.
A little peace pipe. A little peace pipe.
Where are some
And
of
I
these?
have beautiful little glass pipes that are late. But I mean, that was, you're talking about, that was the fashion in the 60s
Right.
and the 70s.
Right.
I mean, now, you know, who needs, there's so much happening in the world. Who needs drugs?
Who needs drugs? That's right. Just pure air.
Yeah, I
Have that anymore. So, yeah, we got to figure all those things out.
where are some of these props? Do any of these props still exist? Like
Oh,
the
yeah,
Lost
we have
Saucer
a
or
huge-
Wonderbug? I would love to buy
Oh, yeah.
Wonderbug.
We have a huge, huge warehouse filled to the ceiling. We had, I don't know how many years ago, we had an auction because I wanted the fans, you know, not to get stuff after I left the planet. And so 3,000 people showed up at the Hilton, at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And it was amazing. People came from all over the world, you know, to try and get a piece. And I'll never forget Freddie the Flute.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was from, I don't know, the Middle West somewhere that got it. And he was a huge guy, and he was sitting in a corner with he got Freddie the Flute. I don't know what he paid for it. And he was crying, and I went over and sat next to him, you know, on the floor. It was an amazing moment that he got Freddie the Flute.
That's a big deal.
You know, I don't think he ever shed a tear in his life until he got Freddie the Flute.
If you come across the Lost Saucer, I want that.
Sell your house. He would
I
sell his
want
house.
that.
Yeah,
You're going to store it.
That and
where-
Wonderbug.
Yeah, he just asked, where are you going to store it? That's
No,
a very
something
good
that
question.
something like that does not get stored. It gets displayed.
Oh.
It's
Really?
art. It's
You know
art.
what? You could open up a disco inside of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go. So,
with
you
all
still
the
have some
glass-
good ideas.
Yeah, still creative as ever. Hey, Mr. Krofft, I actually am a former pro wrestler, and because of that,
Wow.
I must ask about your time on All-Star Rock and Wrestling.
Yeah. Well, because Cyndi Lauper is a really good friend of ours,
Oh.
and I don't know what her relationship was with, what was his name?
Lou Albano.
Captain
Oh,
Lou
yeah.
Albano,
Yeah.
excuse you.
He was in one of her videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was, and we did that. And wasn't Paul Rubin in that?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure
Yes.
was. Pee Wee Herman.
Yes.
Yeah. And Paul's a really good friend of mine, so.
Well, when you see Pee Wee's Playhouse, there was so much of Sid and Marty Krofft
Yes.
DNA in there.
Yes.
Yeah, well, he'll tell you he swiped it. But come on. And who did I swipe it from? The Wizard of Oz.
Right.
Same thing. Yeah, it's the whole idea really came from nothing is original. We swipe from each other.
Yeah.
So, fine.
So you're working with Cyndi Lauper. She was she the one that approached you on this, or?
Yeah. I think we knew her even before that. Of course we did. She was in a couple of our Patti LaBelle special we did,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple other shows that we did. We did so many hour specials. I can't remember, come on, my brain is that
You
big.
sound...
We
Well,
did,
Yeah.
we did 26 television series, and I think 38 specials, and I don't know, no, 22 specials, 38 live shows. God, that was a lot of work.
Well, with all that work, I need to ask you, this is my big final question.
Am I rich? No. Is that what you were going to ask?
Am I rich?
Am I rich?
Am
No,
I
the
rich?
answer
Are you loaded?
Yeah, are you going to hook us
Am I
up?
loaded? No.
No.
That's Marty. Marty screwed up.
Marty,
okay?
he's the money man,
Oh,
right?
the money man gets all the spoils. No, I have so many. I have 4 of my own kids. I have 150 campers. I have 70 preschoolers at my school. What would make you happy? What would make you happy? What would make you proud out of all the work you've done? If I were to show the new young generation Sid Krofft work, what would you like? What would you pick for me to show them?
Oh, well, we'll start with my first child, Pufnstuff. That's an amazing show. And I'm not on an ego trip, but come on.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? How many years ago was that?
Come on.
And ironically, I do think that
1969.
Yeah, it's over
How
50
many
years.
ago was that?
Over 50.
I think people, you're naming it Pufnstuff. People,
Yeah, they
were
associate with the puff.
associated with marijuana, and
But no, sir.
Right.
It is.
No,
it wasn't.
No, you're getting it wrong.
Right.
Because maybe you weren't born then.
No, well, thank you.
Wait a minute. 1969, the big song was Puff the Magic
Dragon.
Right. Yes. Who lived
and
by
that's
the sea.
where we got to swipe the title from.
Ah.
Stuff.
Right.
And HR does not mean hand rolled. HR
Right.
HR is, we can talk like this because it's legal.
Right.
Is it legal in New
Yes.
Jersey?
Super
Yes.
legal. Yeah, it just became legal.
Yes.
When something becomes legal, nobody wants it.
That's
Pretty
the
much.
truth.
Like,
That's
they
the
like
tr-
to sneak around,
Right.
and break the law and all that stuff. Hey, I also worked in New Jersey a lot. Atlantic City.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
That's
so
20
we're,
minutes from us.
we're very close to Atlantic City.
Steel Pier, all that stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I worked at the 500 Club, and that was a famous.
That was ran by gangsters back in the day.
All the
Sinatra
clubs
and them used to play there. Yeah, I read a lot about it just recently.
I played there with Liberace, and we burned down a joint
Wait,
on
what?
the beach.
Doesn't mean a joint.
No,
Clarify.
Thank
we
you,
need to,
thank you, Kelly, for moderating.
Yes, Kelly is clarifying. He does not mean
Kelly,
he means a place. He does not mean
place.
yes.
a place.
Right.
Thank you
And
for
you
clarifying.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
But anyway, I can't remember what it was on the beach. We were playing a club, something Wood. What is that?
Wildwood?
Wildwood.
Wildwood? Yeah.
Wildwood, New Jersey. Thank you.
You burned
I've
down
been-
Wildwood.
They burned down
Okay,
a joint
what
in
happened
Wildwood.
was, okay, you've got to all be quiet. for a
Okay,
second.
go ahead.
Okay. What happened was I had a marionette that had a lighter, and it was a real lighter, and she had a cigarette, and she lit the cigarette, and she inhaled and exhaled.
Oh.
It wasn't done with me blowing smoke through a tube up above or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It had a real little lung inside of the puppet, and it was amazing. Well, what happened at night after the show, all the puppets would go into these bags to keep the dust, or also to keep somebody coming over and touching
Right.
and screwing up the stringing, or, and we tied the strings like in a knot. And because my act was very, very technical and complicated. Okay, so her lighter opened up. I don't even know why it was reshut, because we would never, we would leave it open, after the show, and then reset it for the show. Well, the lighter caught on fire in the bag, and we, there was a huge fire.
Oh,
I
boy.
lost all my puppets. And
Oh.
it was crazy.
Oh, my
And we
God.
burnt the joint down from that puppet.
Literally.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I got a lot of publicity.
No news.
Yeah.
All
It's
bad
good
news.
news.
Yeah. I want to ask you something. Can I do a little name association with you real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Bob Denver.
Bob Denver
Mm-hmm.
was not a friend of mine,
Mm.
because most of those stars, I talked them into doing a kiddie show, because most of them were big stars,
Right.
and what do you want to do, ruin my career? I don't want to do a kid show.
Ah, boo.
Do movies, or I have my own, I had a nighttime. I want a nighttime show, not a kid show.
Mm.
And so that'll be like I'm on my way out. That all those stars. I don't know, Bob Denver, we approached him, I remember that, and he accepted, because I think he had kids, and he did it for them.
Okay.
I sort of remember that, and maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I would also think back at that time, Gilligan's Island was really recirculating in reruns at the time, and was building a whole new childhood fan base, a new fan base of children. Because I remember when I was watching it,
Could be.
I
yeah.
associated it as Gilligan,
Right.
and was trying to figure out, why does he have white hair now?
Yeah.
And you know what? And Patty Maloney, the little person
Mm-hmm.
that was in that, he had an affair with.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, for quite a while.
he's spilling
So
the tea.
Yeah.
That's a bit of scandal right there.
Yeah.
Ooh. So,
But
and
you're
that was the
How
dog,
about that?
right? The space creature. What was?
A Doors, half horse, half dog.
Yeah.
And Bob Denver had an affair with a half dog.
With the half horse, half dog. Well, I gotta tell you something. We live in a really freaky world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Hollywood, man.
That's Hollywood.
Yeah, that's Hollywood. How about this one? Margaret Hamilton, because
Okay, that was my idea, because, come on.
the witch from The Wizard of
Great.
Oz, right?
Mhm.
She was, the witch. She was retired. I got her phone number. She lived in Connecticut. And she said, oh, I'm really retired. And she knew Pufnstuff because of Witchy Poo, right?
Mhm.
Mm.
She said, oh, I want you to tell her that is the best witch ever.
Oh.
And she said that. And I said, I want you to tell her that, and we'll meet you at the airport.
Oh.
And you've got to come out here and do Sigmond. It's just two, we can shoot both in a week. And I talked her into it, and she did come out and became great, great friends with Billy Hayes. And then we had her on the Paul Lynde Halloween
Oh
Special.
my God! You got to talk about that. That was that. All that's the Kiss special. That's not the Paul Lynde Halloween special. That is the Kiss special.
Paul Lynde. Yeah,
that was a
Paul
classic
Lynde.
episode.
Well, we had him on the Donny and Marie. He
Mhm.
was,
Which I used to watch
Oh,
all
yeah?
the time. Donny and Marie and Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters.
and what about the Brady Bunch?
Oh,
Hour?
yes. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. Have you seen a doctor
No.
Which
watching those things?
The what?
the what?
No, I said, have you seen a doctor about watching those things?
Here's something I want to ask because it's just come to the top of my head for no reason whatsoever. Me and my dad
I love those kind of questions.
Yeah.
me and my dad used to talk about this a lot, and I don't know if you actually know the answer to this, but the Mandrell sisters, they had that puppet rock band, and
Of course, yeah.
and there was a there
and
was
the Texas Critters.
there was a fiddle player, and he reminded us, me and my dad, we knew this fiddle player named Doug Crenshaw, and
That was a takeoff on it.
okay,
There you
okay,
go.
so
now
now
you have your answer.
there you go, Dad. He's in heaven now. He's
Hey,
content.
you also know there were real musicians in there, so he was really playing.
That's awesome. I know I'm talking to a television legend, but I'm also talking to someone.
Who's not?
But I'm also talking to someone who has lived a very long life and has some experiences and has some knowledge,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, what do you get mad or do you get even? What kind of life lessons could you give to someone like us? You've been through.
Okay, this is as mad as I get.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're hearing it right now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not worth it. People screaming at each other, you get nothing done. My brother, most of his language is a four-letter word constantly. Everything is a four-letter word.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't even hear his words anymore. It's just,
I'd love to see the both of you
so
at dinner.
I tune all that crap out, because it's not worth it.
Mm.
It's and creativity is really hard to come by, but every one of us are creative. We all are. And we have the ability to use that.
Mm.
And to put garbage in your head like that, it doesn't get you anywhere. And my whole life, I just didn't like dealing with that. Actually, I know a lot of people, because I've been all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
but I have very, very, very few friends because I like my life to be quiet.
Mm-hmm. Less drama.
I live
Simplicity.
I live in a great space. I have some fabulous animals. There's nothing like
Well, I'm so sorry, Sid.
animals.
I'm so sorry because you've just made your 3 new best friends.
I did.
You did.
Okay.
What is a day? And maybe Kelly be better answering this one. What is a day in your life?
Hey, like?
A day in your life.
Okay, Kelly.
What's the day in Sid's life?
Yes.
Well,
Okay, I'll give you my perspective because he won't tell you the truth.
Okay.
what do you think? Are you calling me a liar?
No, she's
No.
going to give us the
No.
Here we
unedited
go.
version.
No, Sid is extremely regimental, and it is probably the first thing that I really respected about him is every single day, other than his work, is exactly the same. So he wakes up with the sun. He has no curtains in his room, so he literally wakes up with the sun. And like he said, everything is very peaceful. Everything here is very tranquil.
I don't have a doorbell.
He doesn't have a doorbell.
No.
The noisiest thing he has, you'll hear like the clock in his kitchen, or sometimes the phone rings. It's very old school creature comforts, a home phone, a landline.
Right.
But really, his day is he wakes up with the sun, he takes his shower, he feeds his animals, he starts his routine with his meals. His meals are at a certain time every day, which is why we really couldn't do certain times that you guys needed.
I love it.
Right.
Because it's very regimental. But I also think that's why he lives so long. He feeds his animals at certain times.
Right.
And he eats at certain times. And then he has his phone calls like you guys throughout the day. And he scheduled those around his normal schedule. He walks, he may contact a friend, but I mean, for the most part, he's a scheduled human.
I want to tell you, you're describing Dan to a T.
It's really kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
You're describing me.
And I work too. Now, wait a minute. I'm working on some huge project,
That's amazing.
and I'm writing a children's book. And so, there's a lot going on professionally, constantly.
Yeah.
Let me
always
know.
working.
I'm a singer, musician, songwriter, actor extraordinaire. Let me know if you need anything.
And if we can, and when that book is out, let us know so I could read it to all of my students.
There you go.
Oh my God, they're gonna love it. It's a young book. It's called Homeless Hildy, and it's I'm really proud of it.
Wow.
And it's going to be sponsored by Toys for Tot.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Yeah, and so it's. I hope that you're going to like it. It's going to happen within the next couple of months.
I'm going to be so proud to read it to my kids and all of my students.
What is the greatest lesson you've ever learned?
To shut the hell up.
Is that how we're closing?
Everybody always tells me, "Oh my God,
Shut the
you
hell
don't
up.
leave room for anybody to talk." And you know why? Because I've got so much information has been handed down to me through my life.
Well,
so-
honestly, with watching your shows, there's a lot going on in your head.
Constantly.
Yeah,
I
you
have
can
a
tell.
pad next to my bed, and I get up
So
and write things on it in the middle of the night.
He does the same thing, only he uses his phone, and he makes all of these notes, and you are...
Oh my God! If you saw my files, I'm writing all the time.
I'll say to him,
I
what
make
are you
notes
doing?
every-
Yeah. Yep.
There's little nuggets of gold in those notes.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that.
It probably is, there'll be a hell of an auction out there.
I really wanted to, I wanted to ask a question. I want to ask about your animals. What kind of animals do you have?
Oh my God! Well, a couple of weeks ago, I lost a friend that was with me for 15 years, and I was with him.
Oh.
And we said goodbye,
Oh.
and it was really, really hard. And I know my animals really love me a lot because they have such an incredible life. I make sure that they're as happy as I am every day. And so I had because I lost one, two brothers, and their cat,
Okay.
Persian, but they're like dogs. Persians, if you know, those cats know their names and they wait at the door and do all that, just like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And his name was Sir Red, and he was an orange cat.
Oh.
And really, well, all my animals are very laid back. I have an African gray. His name is Harley, and he's been with me 29 years.
Whoa.
Wow.
He kisses them on the lips, and
Aw.
they, a cat,
Right.
cat.
Right.
And yeah. And so that's the way. It's just like bringing up kids.
Yes.
It's up to the parent
Yep.
to teach the kids, whatever is right. And so, and they really look at me and hear everything that I have to say. I like that. And so I've got koi, parakeets.
Oh.
We
So you have a
feed
little
the
farm there.
We have deer. I have feed, I'm Dr. Doolittle, okay?
You know what?
You
You know
talk
what?
to the
That wouldn't be a
animals.
bad show.
Yeah.
The Sid
you go.
Kroft's Magical World, and have a puppet of each of the animals you have.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, we're stealing that idea.
Dan,
There
Dan
we
wants
go.
royalties.
You have a good lawyer. Or you
I
got
was just
Hey.
going to say, Dan wants
You
royalties. He has a good wife.
You and
so-
I will get a series Bible together. We'll get it all taken care of. It'll be great.
okay.
Awesome.
Oh my God. So tell me something.
Mhm.
We're not live right now.
No.
Gonna
No, it's
broadcast
taped.
This will be posted probably this week,
Uh-huh.
and we can send you a link as well if you feel like sharing it.
Oh, no, I love that.
You guys
Ah.
have been fun.
No,
Thank
Oh my
you.
God! Thank you so and Kelly, thank you so much for
Yes.
everything. We've been going back and forth on Instagram, and then she'd respond, and I wouldn't see it because she did on the email, and then I
Right.
respond on email, but she'd go back to Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so glad we made this happen.
Yeah, and say
Yeah, no, it's things over here are quirky because I'm with Sid a couple of hours each day in the morning and at night.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the middle of the day, I basically don't really have access to, the emails and stuff. It's only when I'm here.
Right.
So if I see things when I'm at home, I'll respond. Instagram, I'm not always on my personal accounts. It's usually, Sid
Right.
is my number one client when it comes to Instagram. He is on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I can just say one thing, which is what I originally promised Kelly, and I believe I promised Sid as well on his Instagram account. I said, if anything, just come on the show so I can at least say thank you for everything.
Well, thank you. I want to also make sure that your listeners next week know that I'm on live every Sunday at 3 o'clock. And what we're going to start doing, we hope it works, I'm going to start showing all my shows and then critique them as we're looking at them.
Okay.
And then the last half hour, because they're only 23 minutes long.
Do some live commentary.
send us the links so we can promote it to our fans.
Yeah.
It's just going to be on his Instagram
Okay.
every Sunday at 3, like what we've been doing.
Okay.
Yeah, we
but
will
wait
share
a minute,
everything.
Aren't you following me?
I am.
Yeah, well, get all your viewers or your listeners to
That's
follow.
it. That's it.
That's the whole idea, okay?
I appreciate
Yes.
it.
I
Absolutely.
need some followers.
Yes. Which I think is amazing that, you are so active. And I think that
But
just,
wait a minute. I started, it was Kelly that talked me into this
mm-hmm.
because the day we got, what's that, about a year and a half ago, we got our star on the Walk of Fame.
Yes,
Which is
congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
I don't know anyone else personally who has their star on the Walk of Fame. So
How about that? And so when we came home, Kelly said, because my speech, they only told me, I almost didn't show up for it because they kept telling me, don't do more than 2 minutes.
right.
I
They,
said, "Give
they
me
want to
a
cut
minute
you.
Give me a minute for every 10 years.
right.
That was 8 minutes,
Right.
And they said, no, because the location where your star is, right in front of Funko, we're at the entrance of Funko, our star, and that big building, and on Hollywood Boulevard. And they said, we're closing the street, and we have to reopen it. And I said, well, then I'm not even going to show up. It was Kelly that made me go, and my speech was 12 minutes long.
Yeah.
Hey.
And there were 900 people there.
Wow.
They were standing around the block. It was amazing. And so when we got home, it was an ad-lib speech. It wasn't even the one that I prepared in my mind. And she said, oh, you got to go on Instagram. And so she made me do the first one. I asked everybody if they were even interested in me. And I started off with 500 people. That's a year ago. And I have 15,000 now.
Wow.
Good for
That's
you.
great.
Mm.
Yeah, but for doing this hour, I better get another
Yes.
500 from
Oh,
you.
at
Everyone
least.
follow Sid.
At least.
Well, thank you so much. And I know your regiment. I don't want to take up any more of your day than we have to. You've been so great to us, and thank you again to Kelly as well for
Thank
helping
you.
make this all
You guys
possible.
rock.
No, yeah, hey, thank you. And tell your students, I want to say hello to them too. You know,
Oh.
who knows, I might do another Saturday morning show that they're going to watch. No, there isn't such a thing as Saturday morning anymore.
Well, we have school Monday through Friday, so whatever you do, it will be streaming, and I will make sure that they watch it because I love the work you do. I love the creativity, and I love to promote it to the youth.
And
yeah,
we,
well, show them Pufnstuff.
yeah.
Just show them one episode of Pufnstuff. Kids just freak out.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. That have no idea. They just, they love the kids, Jack Wilde,
And
Yeah.
you'll
who was
actually be able
nominated
to, you'll,
Academy Award, and they love Witchy Poo, who we just lost.
Oh,
Aw.
rest in peace. I didn't know that. Yeah, no, I promise you, this is a guarantee. I will be showing the next generation your book, your work, and I'm going to keep it alive for a very long time.
Okay, those are my walking orders.
All
You're
right.
welcome.
And I'm giving you, yeah.
Done and done.
Yes.
Hey, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
the amazing Sid Krofft.
Ow!
And you can have me back. I'll do it again.
Hey!
You're gonna make me cry
Again.
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 Thank you,
Hey,
guys.
thank you. Have a beautiful day.
You too.
You too, man. Take care.
Bye-bye.
I love New Jersey.
Oh, thank you.
Jersey loves Sid.
Yes.
Jersey loves
Bye-bye.
Sid.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, we just talked
How
to
many
a-
people do you know have their own star on the Walk of Fame?
I know.
One. I know
Sid
one.
Krofft.
How many people do you know made me cry just now?
Oh my gosh. Well, I make you cry sometimes.
You cry all
You do. I'll tell you what.
Constantly.
I'll tell you what.
I make you cry
I felt like I was
sometimes.
talking to a kindred spirit right
Yeah.
there, and I knew
He's tearing up again.
I
Watch out.
knew the minute I was sitting on the carpet, and one of their shows would come on. It was just something about that, and I just loved that. I knew that the minute after the week I had at school, the minute those shows came on, I was going to have a good time. Whether it was going to be The Lost Saucer, whether it was going to be Pufnstuff, or The Land of the Lost.
He didn't
Land
make
of
us
the
sing
Lost.
the...
No.
I was waiting for that.
And
Yeah.
the whole time I was thinking, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring it up.
I was going to bring it up
Look,
too.
he had his
I brought the
guitar
gu-
there.
But you know what?
should do it.
We'll do it for the fans.
Do
right?
it.
All right. So
Totally
what
do
we're
it.
talking about is in many interviews, Sid Krofft puts people on the spot, seeing if they could remember the lyrics
So
to
now
his.
he can actually listen to you because
Yeah.
we could send him the YouTube link and he
he's
could
gonna-
watch us.
Yep. I put E. It's actually in D. No, it's actually in A. Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition met the greatest earthquake ever known. High on the rapids, they struck their tiny raft, and they plunged them down the valley deep below to the land of the lost. Sam on percussion.
Woo! I held it together, didn't I?
did.
I tied that song together. Yo.
You were the glue to my rhythm.
Talk to a living legend, your hero. You happy now?
Wow.
Yeah. It was a
Wow.
good Saturday,
Oh my God, yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
didn't get to go to the beach, but it was all worth it.
Yeah, totally. Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Do you want me to
50.
read this?
I was wrong.
50,
I
wow.
heard it was 50 years good luck. It is 5,000 years good luck if you like and subscribe.
Oh, 5,000.
5,000 years. Who doesn't need that?
Hit it.
Okay.
That and a slinky.
I have closing stuff.
Oh, Karen,
Yeah.
pressure is on.
Woo-hoo. New Jersey's biggest 80s event is happening on July 31st. And if you haven't purchased your tickets, what are you waiting for? Which is pretty much what Dan said in the beginning of the show. But it's all good.
Read it.
They forgot by now.
Get your tickets now.
We got a time limit.
Now for the 80s extravaganza, go to our website for all the details. You do not want to miss out on this one because you will be missing out on us. Please like, follow, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Please, here at the Nostalgia Cafe. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and our official website, theofficialnostalgiacafe.com.
That's it for now. For Sam Seitels and the beautiful Karen, I am Dan Marr, the beautiful Karen Lynn. And we will look forward to serving you next time on the Nostalgia Cafe.